Hello everyone and welcome back. This is Dr. Edward Padama and we are going to continue with another discussion. Again, this is still part of our series entitled Practical Research 1 for high school students, but this can also be used by other students in the tertiary or the graduate school level. So, in this particular discussion, we use Tagalog as or Taglish as the medium of instruction. So, ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon ay papaano ba isulat, nakalagay dyan sa baba, papaano isulat yung methodology for qualitative research. Writing the methodology for qualitative research. So again, please join me in our discussion today. So starting off with the presentation of the title of our discussion, which I just said earlier, writing the methodology for qualitative research. Okay, but before we go on to our main discussion, I would like to invite you again to go and check out my YouTube channel at Doc Ed Padama, and please don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to alert you when a new video is uploaded. And another is my TikTok account, which also has the same name, Doc Ed Padama. Pareho lang po ng pangalan ng YouTube channel natin. Ang laman po niyan ay mga short video discussions on question and answers, inquiries about research writing problems. So try to visit my TikTok account. Now, going to our main discussion, how to write the methodology for qualitative research. Before I give you the specific topics that we are going to briefly go through today, I would like to remind you, based on our previous discussion, regarding the characteristics of qualitative research. Pag sinabi natin qualitative research, basically the major idea that you need to remember and recall is that qualitative does not use numeric values. It is not measurable. So walang involved na number, walang pagsusukat na mangyayari dahil hindi natin pwedeng sukatin yung mga issues and topics or focus kapag qualitative research ang ginagawa natin. So again, I would like you to focus on that because most of these topics will dwell on that particular idea pag sinabi natin qualitative research. So ano-ano ba itong mga bahagi ng methodology which usually pag sa regular quantitative research, this is part of yung tinatawag nating chapter 3, the research methodology. But again, this is qualitative research. So ano-ano itong mga parts na ito? These are the following. Number 1, the actual research method. Second, the research design that you use. Third, the respondents or the participants of the study. Fourth, the sampling procedure that you used. Fifth, we have 6, okay? The fifth one is the research instrument, and the sixth one is data gathering procedure. So we are going to go through all of these parts right now, which is included in the discussion ng writing the research methodology for qualitative research. So, kung kayo ay nasa part na nito ng qualitative research ninyo, ito dapat ang magiging laman, at kung paano nyo dapat isulat, ano ang dapat maging laman nitong mga parts na ito doon sa sinusulat ninyong research. So, let's start with the first one, the research method. We discussed the different types of research method. So, let's start with the third one, the mixed method. This is what we usually present as hybrid or quanti-quali. So this is a combination of quantitative and qualitative. And the other two methods are quantitative and qualitative. Now, the first one, in qualitative research, the research method that you're going to present should be aligned with the study that you are conducting. So definitely, you're going to present qualitative. That's the method that you are going to present. Qualitative ang ipipresent ninyo. Ano ang qualitative? So, paano nyo gagawin itong part na ito? Introduce the actual research method by presenting the title. So, you're going to do this in sentence form. So halimbawa sa unang sentence ng part ng research ninyo, this study will implement or will use or utilize the qualitative research method. Or parang present nyo lang yung title. And then after that, ganun lang kasimple, di ba? After that, give the conceptual definition. If you want, you can also give the etymology, the history, the beginning. Sino bang unang gumamit ng qualitative research? And then kailan niya unang sinimulan ito? And yung basic characteristics, those are included in the conceptual definition ng qualitative research. O, di ba? Present nyo lang yung title, mag-research lang kayo ng konti sa history niya, and then get the definition and present what is qualitative research. Okay, then the next part will be the rationale of choosing qualitative research. Bakit qualitative research? So, in our previous videos, in our YouTube channel, part of the characteristic of choosing a research is that you're supposed to be interested. Yung passion ninyo, actually, to the next level eh. It's not just being passionate. Dapat obsessed kayo na malaman ninyo kung ano yung sagot dito sa problema na interesado kayo. So there should be passion, obsession, and interest. And another characteristic is that this is supposed to be relevant to you as a student. Maybe it can be relevant to the course that you are taking or relevant to you as an individual because it has affected you. Okay, so these are the characteristics of choosing the research method. Bakit ito ang method na napili ninyo? You can dwell on to those ideas that I presented to you right now. Okay? So, after presenting this, yan lang yung part ng research methodology. So, it would take you around 1 paragraph to do this part of your research. And then after that, we move on to the next. The second one is the research design. Now, the research design should be congruent, ibig sabihin aligned pa rin with the method that you are using. So, if the method is qualitative, sabi natin kanina, di ba, qualitative, nandyan yung title natin sa taas ng screen. Kung qualitative ang gagamitin ninyo, anong design under ng qualitative? Again, we have a video for that in our YouTube channel. So, I presented a diagram, quantitative, qualitative, and then below that are their respective designs. Examples of designs under qualitative are phenomenology or phenomenological, ethnology, you have case study, historical, grounded theory, and so on and so forth. Okay, so these are some of the designs available under qualitative research. Okay, so again, like the first one, you introduce the research design. So what design are you going to use? Example, the research design that will be utilized in this study is phenomenological or phenomenology. So what is phenomenology? Because you're going to dwell on the lived experience of a particular student learning online during COVID-19. So halimbawa, yun yung issue o yung topic ninyo. Ano yung lived experience ng mga estudyante ng pag-aaral nila online during the pandemic? So, the research design that you're going to use is phenomenological research or phenomenological design. Okay, so present nyo lang yung title. After presenting the title, what would be the next part? Reminder before we go on to the next part. Yan yung sinabi ko kanina. The design should be congruent or aligned with the research method that you are conducting. Okay. The next one, not unless you're doing a mixed method, of course you're going to use a combination of quantitative and qualitative. Pero para hindi mo na kayo malito, qualitative designs lang muna dapat ang gagamitin ninyo. So, in our case, this discussion, ang ginamit natin ay phenomenology. Kasi ang research natin is about lived experiences of students na nag-online class during the pandemic. So gagamitin natin yan mamaya as we go on in our discussion. So give the conceptual definition. Pag sinabi natin conceptual definition, this is based on references. Whether it's a textbook or through online. So kung ano yung definition na makikita nyo doon, sino yung nagbigay ng definition, anong year nila, kung merong history or brief history of that particular design, include that in the conceptual definition. It's the same as with the research methodology kanina. Okay? Pero wag nyo namang gagawing comprehensive yung history. Sino lang yung involved na tao na nag-develop ng design, kailan niya ito na-develop, para saan, and then after that, the actual definition of the design. Ganun lang. Direct to the point and simple and short. Okay? The next part is give the rationale, the reason. Rationale is the reason, the justification. Why you chose the design. Bakit ito ang design na napili ninyo? Obviously, you chose phenomenology or phenomenological because this is the design that is appropriate for the problem that you are investigating. You want to know the perspective of the student. You want to know ano yung mga pinagdaanan niya. This will definitely fit under phenomenological research. Okay? So, you just present that. Since the study is going to investigate the lived experiences of students under students taking up online classes during the pandemic, the study utilized phenomenological research. Ganun nyo lang ipipresent dapat. Okay? Discuss the appropriateness and how this can help in your study. So, with the use of phenomenology, kung ano yung characteristic ng phenomenology, yung describing the phenomenon, this would be able to answer the questions of your study. So, ipipresent nyo lang, sasabihin nyo lang, using this particular design, we would be able to achieve the results that we are aiming for in our study. Okay? Tandaan niyo, qualitative is narrative. Basically, you are telling a story. You are describing what happened. Ganon ang ginagawa ninyo dito sa pagsusulat ninyo ng methodology part ng qualitative research. Okay, then next, number 3, the third part of your research is about the respondents or participants of the study. Papaano nyo isusulat, ikukwento, i-discuss, i-describe itong part ng research ninyo. So number 1, present the respondents of the study. The respondents of the study are the students of this particular school. Diba? Remember our sample issue or topic under qualitative lived experiences of students. So, ang ipipresent ninyo dito, the respondents of the study are the students of this particular school. Ganun lang. Okay? And then after that, how did you choose the respondents? Discuss nyo na. They were chosen by the following or using the following criteria. Sino ba yung mga kailangan ninyo? So, ito bang mga respondents na ito nag-fit doon sa mga kailangan ninyo? So, again, we have a reminder here. Present the criteria used in choosing the respondents. So, dapat magiging congruent ulit yan. Dapat magiging aligned siya. Kung ano yung criteria ninyo, sila dapat yung respondents na nakuha ninyo. Okay. Next. Present the profile of the respondents. So, paano nyo sila pinili, and then, ano ba yung profile ng mga napili na ninyo? So, halimbawa, mga students ninyo are first year college students, o kaya senior high school students. So, ipipresent nyo yung profile nila. Kung gumamit kayo ng gender, ng age range, economic status, at kung ano-ano pa, kasama yan sa ipipresent nyo dun sa tinatawag nating profile of the respondents. Okay? And then, again, reminder, always observe proper ethical standards in presenting the identity of the participants or respondents. So, participants, pwede yung school na nag-host ng mga estudyante. If the participants or respondents does not want to be identified, pag sinabi nating ethical standards, then by all means, you have to hide their identity. Papaano nyo? Lagyan nyo ng pseudonym. Pseudonym. Alam mo, pwedeng si School A. Halimbawa, dalawang school ginamit yun. School A, School B. And then sa participants, group nyo sila, Group A, Group B. Kaya Student 1, Student 2, Student 3. Kung hindi naman ganun kadami yung respondents na gagamitin ninyo, then mag-assign na lang kayo ng pseudonym or kaya number or letter. Okay? This is done in order to protect their identity, especially kapag ang result ng study ninyo could affect the integrity and name of the institution or nung school. Okay? Para safe. But if they agreed that it's okay na that you can divulge or present the name of the school, then by all means you can use that if you want. Okay, but usually they do not present the name of the school in the titles anymore. They present it inside of the study already. Okay, next, number 4. Okay, sampling procedure. Procedure, this is a process. The sequence should be observed. The organization should be observed. How did you use that? Okay? This is also true doon sa susunod natin data gathering procedure. So, sampling procedure is getting a small portion of the total population. So, if you have a big population, then you utilize sampling procedure. Ano-ano yung mga sample ng procedures na ito? Again, we also have a video for this. The title of the video is Population, Sample, and Sampling Method. This is for qualitative research, but I also have a discussion under practical research series under that playlist. Meron tayo nitong yung sampling procedure for qualitative research. So magkaiba ang sampling procedure ng qualitative, magkaiba ang sampling procedure ng quantitative, but both of them are available in our YouTube channel. So ano-ano yung mga example muna ng sampling procedure under qualitative research. So pwede siyang we're going to probability or non-probability, pero it would definitely fall under doon sa non-probability kapag qualitative research ang ginagamit ninyo. So, present the sampling method that you use. So, halimbawa, wala kayong definite na total population kasi talagang kokonti lang, and then ang respondents ninyo hindi pa pwedeng face-to-face. So, anong sampling procedure, sampling method ang gagamitin ninyo? Pwedeng snowballing. Snowballing is like networking. So, snowballing method is you get a respondent, a student, since that is our example. And then after interviewing the student, then you can ask the student to recommend. Pwede siya mag-recommend. Sinong pwede mong i-recommend na related, relevant to the study that you are conducting, and then kukontakin mo siya, and then from that student, after the interview, you ask another reference. Sino yung pwede niyang i-refer na pwede mong interviewin, kaya siya snowballing sampling method. Okay, so again, this should be congruent or aligned with the study that you are conducting. So that's sampling procedure. Present the sampling method used. So, pe-present nyo lang yung pangalan. So, halimbawa, snowball method or snowballing method. And then after that, give the conceptual definition. Ano yung definition nitong method na ito? You can just look it up in any reference, whether online or yung textbook. Okay, the next one, present the rationale. The reason why you chose this method. So, because of the pandemic, this is the most appropriate and convenient and effective way of gathering samples from a population, or kung wala kayong total population, gathering actual respondents or respondents of the study. Okay? Kasi pag sinabi nating sample, kinuha sa population. Pag sinabi nating respondent, sila na lang yung available . So, hindi masyadong malaking population, maliit lang sila, kaya ginamit yun na silang lahat. Okay. So after presenting the reason why you chose this particular sampling method, discuss the procedure in the implementation of the sampling method. Did you implement the sampling method? How did you go through the sampling method? Narratively, just discuss. Ikwento nyo lang, anong unang ginawa ninyo doon sa sampling method? Okay? Then, papaano yung sumunod na nangyari, and so on and so forth. That's what we call narrative. Okay? Narrative presentation. Okay, next, make sure that you observe the proper sequence, organization of the process. So, dapat kung ano yung pagkakasunod-sunod na ginawa ninyo, yun ang ilalagay nyo doon sa narrative description nitong procedure kung paano nyo in-implement yung sampling method. Okay. The next part, number 5 na tayo, the research instrument. So, ang research instrument would be the tool that you are going to use in order to gather data. So, usually kapag sa quantitative, common na dyan yung questionnaire. Diba? Pero pagdating sa qualitative, iba din ang instrument na ginagamit. So, examples of instruments used in qualitative are interview, focus group discussion, and then observation, video recordings, at kung ano pa. So, this is more relevant to the use of yung senses ninyo, especially observation. Ano nakita ninyo, ano narinig ninyo, isusulat ninyo. Ganun yung aspect kapag ang pinag-uusapan natin ay research instrument related to qualitative research. So, ano-ano yung mga kailangan yung isulat? Present the instrument used. So, kung ang instrument nyo doon sa research natin na lived experiences of students, pwede kayong interview, okay? So, nakipag-usap kayo sa estudyante. So, since may pandemic, pwedeng online, pwedeng video platform na application, at hindi pa pwede yung face-to-face. But usually, ginagawa yan is face-to-face. And then, after interview, observation, kung meron silang online class, you can join them and then you can observe the online class. Since, ulitin natin, ang exact sample qualitative research natin is lived experiences of students taking up online class during the pandemic. You attend their online class and you observe. Okay? So, if you have these two, interview and observation, then you present the instrument there. So, sasabihin nyo lang, the instruments used in this study are the interview and the observation. And then after that, as what we did previously on the other parts of this research, give the conceptual definition. Ano bang definition ng interview? Anong conceptual definition ng observation? Ipipresent nyo lang. After presenting the definition, present the rationale. Again, the rationale, the reason, the appropriateness of the instrument. Bakit itong instrument ang ginamit mo? Bakit hindi itong instrument? So magdual na lang kayo, bakit ito yung instrument na ginamit ninyo? Because, maybe because of the limitation of the situation during the pandemic, which is, it does not allow face-to-face interaction with students, we opted or chose interview, online interview, o lagyan nyo ng term na online interview, and online observation of online classes. Diba? Okay. And then the last part of this particular part of your research, discuss the creation and validation of the instrument. Papaano nyo ginawa? Papaano nyo kinuha yung mga tanong? Papaano nyo formulate yung mga tanong? And then, if it is required by your institution, by your teacher, by your advisor, also include the validation process. Okay? So, there are different forms of validation ulit. So, in quantitative, the most common validation process is content validation. But aside from that, there are still other forms and types of validation that is used in order to present yung validation and reliability of the research instrument. Again, sa qualitative, if you are required, then by all means, you present the validation process. Okay. So, ang validation process, briefly, discuss ko lang. This is checked as not to use the same word of validate. To validate is to check by an expert the instrument that you are proposing to be used in your research. So may mag-check ng instrument ninyo. Expert ang tawag natin dyan. So ang proseso ng pag-check niya, kung yung mga tanong ninyo at yung objective ng research nyo is aligned, ang tawag natin doon is validation. Okay. The last part, which is data gathering procedure. Again, kagaya ng sampling procedure, data gathering procedure is a sequence. So you should observe the organization and sequence nung pagdi-discuss ninyo ng pag-gather ng data. Papaano nyo ginather yung data? Yun lang ang ikukwento ninyo. Narrative, ikukwento nyo ulit. Okay? Ano-ano yung mga parts nito? Number 1, narratively discuss. Ito lang naman yung gagawin ninyo eh. Isa lang. Narratively discuss. Narrative, magkwento lang kayo and present the sequence of steps that you did in order to gather data. Paano kayo nag-gather data? Di ba online? Hindi ba nag-interview kayo? Hindi ba nag-observe kayo ng online class? Ikukwento nyo lang yon in order, in sequence. That would be the content of this part of your research, nag-data gathering procedure. Hindi ba? Yun lang. So, it is really more on writing, technical writing, describing, narrating of what you experience in a particular part ng research ninyo, in this case, dito sa pag-gather ng data. That's why it is important that you get all necessary information. Kasi baka pag nakalimutan ninyo, paano nyo ikukwento kung hindi nyo maalala? So, one method that you can use is you record. You either record the audio of your interview or you video record. So, if your device can capture the interview, both video and audio, that would be better. So you can go back. So when you start writing this particular part of your research, maalala ninyo kung ano yung mga pinag-usapan ninyo. Okay? So basically, this is how you present this part of your research when you are conducting qualitative research. How to write the methodology for qualitative research. Di ba? Okay, so again, I would like to thank each and every one of you again for listening and tuning in our video discussion for this particular part of our research series, which is part of Practical Research 1 for high school students. And again, I would like to ask for your help to please subscribe to our YouTube channel and to our TikTok account. And then I'll see you on our next video. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Stay safe and God bless. Bye!